So you're probably wondering if Ethereum is dead. Is it done? ETH finished? In this video, we're going to break down if that is the case. Remember, not financial advice, do your own research. So I've got Ethereum here on the weekly chart. I've got one of my favorites, 200-day EMA and a 33-day EMA. Now what we've got here is the yearly pivots. We're going to go back to actually last year. So as you can see, Ethereum had a pretty much perfect mean reversion year. Came below here, came below, and closed below its yearly pivot. Typically, when we close the year below the pivot, next year won't be bullish. So, okay, coming into this year, expectations are it's not going to be super bullish. We're sort of at that halfway mark throughout the year. And yeah, it's just kind of drifted lower, and it's probably going to just stay, I would assume, in between this zone. But wanted to kind of really zoom out here. So if we go to the yearly chart, we just take that off and we just go like that. As you can see there, Ethereum structure, from a structure perspective, looks fine. You got there and a low there. So you're probably thinking, okay, cool, great. Ethereum is fine for now on the yearly. It's still intact. You could argue we've had multiple false breakouts. Well, we've had a false breakout there on 2025. So you could say that's particularly bearish. And we're probably going to just stay maybe in this zone. And you could argue, even if we go down to here, is fine. Now, that's probably a bit too extreme. But from a yearly perspective, if we don't have any closes below there, it should be fine. If we go now then to the monthly, I've got some notes here, by the way. If you keep noticing me, just look over here. So you can see on the, monthly, we made a high there, we broke structure there, and that was there. So we've actually failed to close above there. So you could argue on the monthly, Ethereum's been consolidating since, July 2020. Well, it's been consolidating really since there onwards. So it's been consolidating now for, 4 years, which is pretty insane when you think about it. Yeah, you could argue we tagged that high, but obviously we closed back below, and we're just staying in this range. So from a monthly perspective, a close below there, you would argue it's fine. And we're actually good in this zone. And Ethereum is probably, if crypto is going to stay relevant, Ethereum could actually be one of the main ones to lead out of this massive high time frame consolidation. And then if we go to the weekly, I mean, what I'd be looking for on the weekly is you wouldn't want to see a close in below here, I'd argue. Now, you could argue wicks below, came back inside, great. I'd want us to hold that low. For me, that would be, a pretty significant structure level. And, you could say we've got a low, high, and we could be performing a high low there. This is all, speculative. It's not 100% accurate. It's not 100% true, but it never is. But these are just plans. These are just theses I'm thinking of. So there on the weekly, let's not go. If we stay above there throughout this year, and even if we just kind of chop in this area, I would be, obviously that's going further, but I think that'd be quite good. And then if we go on the daily, I think in the short term, we'd be looking for a close back above that zone there. So that's kind of Ethereum, really. I think it's quite interesting to see this monthly chart. It's probably the most telling that we could just be in a massive consolidation. And look, and it's not to say it's going to be, bullish, right? Like, we could be in a huge consolidation and it could just go back down here and it's done forever. Or it could just carry on in these massive ranges and there could be another move up there and it could just go back down and so on and so forth, right? For me, though, the biggest teller or the biggest way to view Ethereum in terms of is it bullish, is it bearish, is actually ETH BTC. So as you can see here, we've got ETH BTC, and that is not a pretty chart on the monthly. We've got on the weekly. It's not looking great. Now, will Ethereum ever get back to this level? No. So there probably is no real need to own Ethereum over Bitcoin. If you want to be a crypto investor, you capture most of the volatility anyway from Bitcoin. So I would just, wait until we have confirmation on here. So what I'd be looking for is a cross of these EMAs to be bullish. We had a little pop there. But as we saw, false breakout on the Ethereum chart. And we had one here, like a false positive. So you could argue the next one could be that. And look, what I would expect is just a trend to cross, come maybe up here, not go as high, and then come back down to make a new low. That'd be the expectation. But for me, ETH BTC is the guide. If ETH is outperforming Bitcoin, yes, let's be interested. If it's not, let's not bother. There really is no need. That you can capture all the crypto upside via Bitcoin. I mean, this was probably like the best crypto trade, you could argue, last cycle. Like if you caught that, you would have done very well. But yeah, for me, Ethereum, it's simple. There's a few things to look at. We could be in a massive high time frame consolidation for ETH 10K. We could finally get it. But for me, let's wait until that outperforms Bitcoin before we get interested in it. Yeah, you would probably miss these pops here, but if you just waited, you could have avoided all that, and then you got this like performance here, right? So that's your confirmation for that's what I'm going to be looking for, and yeah, we could be in a massive consolidation. Who knows? But yeah, for me, I'll be interested when those EMAs cross. I do run a newsletter. Sign up below, and I will see you there.